So today's session is going to be flipbook animation. Anyone has an idea what flipbook is? Yes, animating using paper. Yeah. Who else knows about flipbook?
Sir, the consecutive series of action we draw on small pieces of paper. When we flip them, it makes them look like a video or like something liveful going on.
Yes, that is what is called flipbook. So this session is going to be like a brief history of flipbook, like 10 minutes of introduction on how it started, who did it first, who patented it first, and then we actually go into making. So I hope all of you guys have papers of approximately this size, yeah, and a clip to bind it.
Sir,
Yes.
is this size okay?
Yeah, that works. That works. So I'm gonna present my screen right now. This is again introduction to animation. A boy riding two horses. Today's session is flipbook. So as we discussed, flipbook is essentially consecutive drawings on papers, frame by frame, which appear to be moving, and the drawings need to be in sequence, following all the principles of animation, so that they look exciting and colored. And as you can see the examples here, there is a nice shark which is dancing. Now that we know what flipbook is or have a certain idea, they're also called flick books or thumb books or hand cinemas. So again, Gyan alert, where it all started. So flipbook animation has been around for 150 years, and Pierre Hubert Deviney is credited with creating a version of the flipbook around 1860, though John Barnes Linnet, a British lithograph printer, was the first to patent the design. So Linux flipbook debuted in 1868 and was called the kineograph, which we learned in our last session, which is Latin for moving pictures. So you see this GIF here. That is John Barnes Linnet's flipbook. Okay. Shortly after that, after Flipbook's debut, English American photographer Edward Muybridge developed a way to make his own flipbook by setting up a camera rig to take multiple pictures at rapid speed. That, when viewed in sequence, produced a moving image. Essentially, this is called Muybridge horse. So he literally took series of photos as the horse was, like galloping, and this is what it looks like. It's a combination of all the images put together. So it's easy to manufacture and made of photographs or lithographs, drawings. Toy shops or joke shops sold them. Thanks to their low cost to produce, they were often offered as promotional gifts. Flipbooks were popularized in early 1900s by Cracker Jack Company, who give them away as free in pack size prizes. Other marketeers soon followed the suit with flipbooks, including manufacturers of bubblegum, cigarettes, automobiles, snack, foods. Then in 1960s, innovative marketeers from Disney, Gillette, McDonald's, Post Cereals, Canada Dry Food, and etc. They resurrected the flipbook trend, creatively using flipbooks as novelties, interactive brochures, and promotional giveaways to promote their products. But unfortunately, that trend ended in 1970 in favor of new interactive media technologies that began to take the spotlight. So, I also, as a child, was first introduced to animation via Flipbook. It was given to me by a relative who worked in as a layout artist in Amar Chitragatha, and he had given me the first flipbook of Chamataka, where Chamataka the fox was going around the tree, and the crow basically puts a coconut on his head. That was the flipbook. So yeah, so flipbooks are very easy. They are quick understanding of animation, and a very important tool, a very important principle for doing character animation, where you literally have to keep flipping the frames, as you do it. Like literally, you have to keep flipping the frames as you do it. It's very important because when you're drawing by hand, flipbooks become very flipping of pages become very important aspect of the whole uh, process, to see what you have drawn beneath and to see what you have done on top of it and what you will be doing later. Yeah, so that's it. And yeah, these are some examples of the flipbook which are quite cool. uh, and I really wish all of you do at least one flipbook after this session to understand really good animation. Yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a small demo of something called as bouncing ball. Again, we are in the last session we had studied what bouncing ball means. Yeah, it is basically bouncing ball. Why it's used? It's used because we get to understand the principle of squash and stretch while while using it. So we understand that principle via this exercise called bouncing ball, which also we are going to do in our flipbook today. Okay, so I'll start the demo for bouncing ball. So they have this software called Animation Sketchpad, which is a very simple software. It's a good software for quick line tests. Somebody who is a beginner to animation, it's introduction to animation essentially. So yeah, this is a very good software to learn and get your hands. Okay, so let me start in the rough animation layer. I have my brush, and once we have a rough animation in place, we'll do a line animation or a color animation. Okay, so in bouncing ball, we need to understand that first of all we'll draw a line here because this is our ground. Why we need a ground? Because when bouncing ball hits the ground, it needs to go flat or it needs to squish. So we need a ground line always to do the to use as a bouncing ball. Yeah. So our ball is here. Okay, we insert a duplicate frame here because we want each and every frame to stay for 2 frames. What it does essentially is it slows down our animation a little bit. Okay, we work on something called as frame rate. Yeah, which is say in 1 second we have 24 frames. So our animation is going to be played as 24 frames in 1 second. Yeah, rather than 12 frames in 1 second, which used to be done previously. Yeah, so you can see that there were more drawings. There were it was that was the norm back then, but then now it's 24 frames per second. So we have duplicating the frame is called animating in twos. Yeah, so you duplicate one frame every time you make a new frame. So like now I make a new frame. And I duplicate it. Now why am I making a frame so closer? Because I want, again, it deals with a principle of slow in and slow out, which we had learned in our previous session, which is, so slow in is slowly it eases in, and it slowly it eases out. Yeah, so that is why we need to start. If we do it very fast, it's going to look very weird. I'll show it to you in a moment. Also, one good practice while doing this is to have a line like a perpendicular, so that your drawing does not go your drawing doesn't go from you know, like it doesn't shift places from here, here like this. Okay. So now we have a line. It's always better to have this kind of a line while doing bouncing ball so that it goes directly in the right direction. Yeah. Now we start increasing the ball's shape slowly. So now what happens when we squish it, right? Squishing means if you squish it like this, the top goes in, yeah, and the sides go out. But when you squish it like this, the ball is not going to increase in size. It's going to squish like this, right? Because the top goes up and equivalently these sides all go in, right? That's why it feels as a illusion of squishing. Yeah. Yeah, so it started squishing now a little bit, like inside as it's going. So this gives the feeling that that the gravity is basically acting on it. Yeah. How does it look so far? You can scrub. Yeah, you can scrub like this. So the squish happened too soon. It needs to be even more slowly at the start. Yeah. Duplicate. So as you can see, I'm increasing the height and I'm decreasing the width. Yeah. So what I'm essentially doing is something called a spacing, right? So again, a quick understanding of what spacing of frames means. This is your last frame. This is your first frame, and this is your last frame here. Yeah, these are your keys. So what I did is I started very near to the keys. Yeah, then I'm going to go a little bit farther. This includes that my keyframe is going to come here somewhere. Yeah, and it's going to hit this ground very hard. So it's literally going to be near this. Yeah. So now if I follow this in a basic manner, it's going to be like ball, 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 ball. It reaches here, it squishes here, and then again it goes up. Yeah. Is this clear? Is it clear till now, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we have two frames. Let's draw further. So now it's going to hit the ground here. Okay. So now what happens is there is going to be an impact. Okay, so another thing that I need to clear, you know how I'm seeing my last frame and the first frame? Similarly, how you will be seeing in your behind frame on this. This is called onion skinning. Yes. Yes, Rachel. This is called onion skinning. Why do we need this? We need this to see our previous frame and last frame. It's like how we do it in the paper animation as well. We need to see the onions. We need to see our previous frame. So it's called onion skinning. Now I can switch this off in this software. Yeah. And if I have to scrub, yeah, yeah. See, its speed increases, right? So again, this as a the excuse me, placing of the frames is what is very important in this to show the illusion of speed, right? Because now at this point the speed has increased, but at यहाँ पे the speed is slow, and then it hits the ground with an impact, right? So that's what we need to do. We need to show it hit the ground with an impact. Switch on the onion skinning again. Now it just hits the ground. Yeah. So here we will keep one frame for now. Yeah. Why? Because we don't want to linger on this frame for another frame. We need to get back to it because it has hit with an impact. It needs to not stay here and then go up. It needs to hit like this and go up. Yeah. So we will try to keep this for one frame. For a momentary this thing, the ball will get its own size. Yeah. Again, we will not linger on this frame. Then it will start like going up again. Yeah. So again we increase the speed a bit. And as it reaches the top, it will start taking its original shape of circle. And at this point it's going to take its shape of the ball in like and what you can do is to get a proper consistency at the start and the end, you can in software you have the ability to copy frames. Yeah. Sometimes while we draw, it's easy to lose the track of what we need to do in order to match our frames. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see our animation now. Yeah. Okay. So now our animation is, now we can fare this animation out. Okay. So all the scribbles that are happening, now we need to start like giving final lines to the animation. So again, come here on line color. Is this clear? Is this clear to all? Guys? Okay. So now we draw fair lines. Just copy and paste frames on top of it. So hand drawing really is important because it makes you gain a good control over your hand and how the lines you're moving. You know. Also, for whoever is interested, this is an older pad that I have, but Wacom gives you a lot of pen tablets and Intuos pen tablets which are quite new and give you a lot of good control on drawing. So whoever wants to think about it for their investment in like in working more into it, this is a very handy tool and a very important one. So yeah, it will really help you if you're looking to do work forward in this field. Yes. So outlining, this is called outlining or the final lining. Creating the, what we did previously was rough lines, understanding of the shape of the ball, and then we do final lines. Essentially, when we get on paper for this, it's literally scribbling and getting the posture right and everything, and then the cleaner the clean this is, essentially it's the word right word for this is called cleanups. Yeah, so you do a cleanup animation. So the rough animation that is being done, you do final lines according to the decided character, their anatomy and their shape and their everything. So yeah, it is a very crucial step in getting the final animation done right. There is also somebody called as keyframe animator or key animator. They give the animation keys, and the breakdowns and the in betweens are usually done by junior animators. Also to understand how the flow works, how the actions work. In older times, this was the system where the key animator, usually a senior animator, would give keys and animation keys on the basis of which a junior animator would animate the whole shot or sequence. It was an amazing learning experience because they would be literally working under legendary animations, veterans in our field, and they would be literally learning from their drawings. Again, animation, as I said, is a dedicated art, and it requires patience and perseverance, and you need to give everything to it to actually create something very beautiful. Uh, but then, what inspires us to take it forward is the output that we are expecting. It looks good, and when you are really doing it with sincerity and in order to create something very beautiful, it really motivates the creator a lot. Yeah. All right. And now we have finished our final coloring. Yeah. If I change the FPS, then it goes a bit faster. So this is what we are going to do on Flipbook. Yeah. So all your papers are ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch these onion skins off now. Okay. And I'm going to give you each and every frame to draw. But now we are not going to do in twos. So I'll be sharing an alternate frame. So like one. Okay, but directly I'll be sharing you this frame. Yeah, the third. Why? Because if we do it in twos, then we will need more papers essentially. Yeah. So and then we will need to also flip a lot of papers. Yeah. So keep your papers ready. Whoever are near to the windows, shift to the lighter source for good light on your papers. And yeah, get ready, guys. Draw your first frame, guys. Yes. So first you have to draw it with pencil, so that if there is any problem you can erase it or take a new paper probably. And once that is done, then you do the final lining with the this thing. Also, what I would suggest is yeah, you can draw like this with the paper khara, so that what happens is when you flip, you can flip like this. This is easier way to flip rather than flipping this, you know. So my bad, I'll start again. Yeah, draw here. Okay, and around here somewhere my ground line is going to be here. Okay, around this area somewhere. Once you're done, line art upon it. Okay, now we place a new paper on top of it. I can see through the ball here. Yeah. So now I'm going to draw here. And once I know that my spacing is right, I have to outline. Yeah. Now I can see. Yeah. Now you can see the motion picture happening. So now that I know my I can see the bottom frame. Now I will draw the third frame. And once I know my frame is right, I'll do the sketch pen thing. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to keep the bottom frame aside, safe. Okay. And we need to work on the second last two frames, right? The second and the third frame. Now we will put another paper on top of this. Yeah, align it properly and then see. Okay, now we are properly in line with the animation. Now increase the spacing of the ball and make it more oval from the tops. Why pencil? Why we did that exercise of circles and this thing, so that our hand could move very nicely. Yeah. And then again, once I know my drawing is okay, I do the frame. Alternatively, I can flip my drawing and see how it's looking. Now again, I need to keep this frame, the second last frame, safe and on top of it, and we work on the and we add a new frame. Okay. Is everyone done till this point?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Now I am slowly going to increase the spacing. And I am going to make it more oval. Like sufficiently oval. And once I know that my drawing is okay, I line art it. Again, repeat the same process. पिछला फ्रेम रखो बाजू में and नया पेपर लगाओ. I know it's a work of patience, but you can flip the pages to see the beauty that you are creating. Yeah, one frame drawn, looks good. Do the line art. See how it looks. Is everyone done till 6 frames? Have a good vision for see-through. Yeah. for the ball falling. So the frames we should understand quite nicely. Do the new frame. So again, the principle for bouncing ball is squash and stretch, and slow in, slow out, where we slowly get from the slow ease in, we ease out at the start of the animation and ease in back. Yeah. So we are going to understand that. Proceeding forward. Add a new paper. Make a new drawing. Increase the spacing. Now we are slowly increasing the spacing to get speed. Okay. Yeah. Can somebody quickly switch on their video and show me frames? Yeah. You still have to do line art with the sketch pen?
Yes, actually I'm out, so with the available things I just made it.
Alright, no problem. No problem.
But it's in, I think like it's in a sequence, like not going into the...
That's okay. That's okay. So can you sense the movement from top to bottom?
Yes, I can.
You can, right? If you flip it, you will see the movement happening from top to bottom, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole understanding of animation, to get that understanding of animation.
So may I?
Yeah, of course. I'm waiting for all of you to show your frames. Yeah, zoom out the camera a bit. Yeah. Nice. Okay, you can proceed. Yeah. Nice. Rachel, very good. Ria, very good. Very nice. Yeah. All of you can see the movement, right? You can sense the movement once you flip the frames, right? That's quite cool. Okay, how many frames are we up? We are up 3, 5.
I've done about 8 frames.
Yeah, 8 frames. We are up on 8 frames. We will be now going on the 9th frame. Okay. See through. Maintain the speed. There is the spacing. Yeah. Draw on top of it. Yeah. We are reaching our ground line, okay, which is here somewhere. Yeah. Around 2 to 3 fingers above the paper. So you can use 3 fingers above the paper. There's your ground line over there. Okay. Proceeding to a new frame. We are 9 frames done. Now we are at the 10th frame. It's gonna come very close to the ground now. Okay. This is my ground line here. So this is my ground line, okay. It's gonna come very close to the ground now because it's in high speed. When gravity pulls and when you hit harder, you hit with an impact. So it's going to be on a high speed. Yeah, it's gonna touch the ground now. Okay. Proceeding to the Interrupt me if anyone has any doubts, okay? Because now we need to pay a bit of an attention as to why. I'll tell you in a moment. We add our next frame. Here we squish our ball, right? Because now it has landed on the ground in an impact. Yeah, so we squish it. Can add like a few lines here. I'll tell you what to do with those lines. Yeah, these lines, small lines, they will be like the impact lines, so they will like go outside like this. Yeah, all right. Now why I said pay attention is because we will need our last frame for a moment. Yeah, why we'll need our last frame? We'll need our last frame as a reference to draw a circle. Yeah, our circle size should not exceed so what you can do is I'm going to keep even the last frame that I have. Here, and I'm going to insert my circle frame in between here, aligning right to the ground. Yeah, and I'm going to draw on top of it. So that I have a consistent circle, and then I'll just take this last frame and add it to my log.
Sir, I can't really understand that.
Okay. Why we did that is because you see the squished frame here?
Yes, sir.
We need for a moment to form the circle, yeah, before we elongate it again, right?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो अभी हम लोग अंदाजे से अगर वो सर्कल बनाते थे तो उसका साइज उल्टा पुल्टा हो जाता था, राइट?
Yes, sir.
सो इसके लिए हमने हमारा सबसे पहला वाला फ्रेम लिया, ठीक है, क्योंकि वहां पे सर्कल का जो साइज है वही साइज हमें यहाँ पे चाहिए, राइट? समझा? क्लियर हुआ? फिर हमने क्या किया, ये नया पेपर था और ये हमारा पुराना फ्रेम था, हमने हमारा सबसे पहला फ्रेम इन दोनों के बीच में रखा, बराबर?
Yes, sir.
And we made we on the basis of that onion skin we made a new frame of the same size of circle.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear now? Anyone wants to show me some of their frames?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Nivedita, I can, yeah. Oh wow, you're coloring it. That's quite cool. Wow, you're a natural with all the drag lines and everything. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. Can you flip it? Can you flip it and show everyone? That's quite amazing. Now, see, this is our ground line, right? This is our ground line. Yeah. From this, we made momentarily we had the ball right in its shape, and then we are now picking up the ball from the ground line from here. Yeah. So just mind the ground line when we are doing it. since it's an impact, at this point the spacing between the two previous frame and this frame is not going to be overlapping. Yeah, it's going to be touching each other because the body is in movement. The body just had an impact and is being propelled upwards, right? And the ease in is going to be towards this point, where it's going to be like zoom, ऐसा slowly आएगा वो यहाँ तक. Okay. Now look very closely. I'm adding our first frame, the very first frame that I did. I'm adding it into the onion skin. Yeah. Why? Because I need to reach this point. Yeah, around here, right? So I need my frames to reach this point around here. Yeah. So now everyone, add your first frame. Yes, Rachel, right. Okay. We need to keep the frame spacing now, increase the frame spacing because now it's again picking up speed. Yeah. Can you see? This is where my ball is. This is where the final frame is. This is where the current frame is. Yeah. Increase the spacing थोड़ा सा. And outline it. चलो. Now previous frame को बाजू में रखो, नया फ्रेम ऐड करो. Proceeding further. Guys, are you enjoying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we are getting close to our last frame, right? So now our ovalness is going to start decreasing. Yeah. And slowly what's going to happen is the ball is going to take its older shape back. Yeah. So you have to show that transition. So if you can see here, let me outline it for you so it's clearer. So if you can see here, this frame and this frame are a bit different because in this, the bottom frame, the ovalness is more, and in the top frame the ovalness is reduced, right? So we need to get the ball back to the circle, the sphere shape. Yeah, here the sphere shape we need to get it back to. Yeah, now it's about to reach the final ball. Now the last frame. Now we just trace the ball exactly, okay? Yeah. And once you do that, outline it, and you're good to go. Let me know when you are done, okay? Because now we need to flip it. We need to arrange all our pages properly. Yeah, and pin them on. Yeah. So, can I see your book? Can I see your flip books? Play. Yeah. Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Too good. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Lovely. That's quite cool.
Thank you, sir.
Lovely. That's quite nice. Did you all enjoy? Did you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here we learned basically two principles, three principles to be very honest. We learned exaggeration. A good example is what Nivedita did in her flip book, wherein she added drag lines to it. You know, it gives character, like the drag lines and all that stuff. It's a very good understanding. So, and also we learned slow in, slow out, which is slowly hitting and then slowly coming, right? You go easing out and easing in. Yeah. And the third thing we learned is the stretch, squash and stretch. So next session is going to be stop motion. Next two sessions are going to be stop motion sessions. The third session is going to be a preparatory session where we will be creating a background and we'll be making a character walk on it. Yeah, and then we'll be recording it with our phones. So this session is going to be the third and fourth session. The third session is where we will be preparing our stuff, and if time permits, probably we'll animate, or if not, there will be an introduction to stop motion animation, a brief history of stop motion animation, and then all the crafty stuff. And the fourth session is where we actually make the character animate and put it on the timeline on your cell phone. There's an app called Studio Motion Studio. It's a free stop motion studio. It's a free app, and we'll be doing and adding it on the timeline, and then we'll have like a nice animation. Yeah. So yes, the material list for that is I'll give it to Madhuganda, and she will forward it to all of you guys. Okay. So I hope it was a good experience for all of you, and I hope that you all enjoyed. And yes, please do more flip books. Invest if you want. Invest in light pads. Invest in good tablets, because they are always going to help you. Like help you in your process further. And yes, do visit happymonkeystudios.com. The software that I used, Animation Sketchpad, to give you guys a demo, was actually made. The demo was animated in that software, and there are many more softwares that you can use. It's a very good suite for beginners animation. They have tutorials, and also they can teach you. They have some very good softwares which are easy to learn, and can be execute things can be executed very nicely in them. So yeah, with that note, on that note, I take leave from all of you, and I'll see you guys in the third session. And yeah, have a good weekend and have a good time, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye.
Such an insightful session.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you for attending. Bye bye.